Hey guys, it's Jen here from Nails by Jen. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome to my channel. So today's video is a watch me work video. Now we actually ended up cutting her nails off and completely resculpting them, and she wanted some marbles back. This is my marble queen. She loves marbling and she hasn't had it for a while. So we also added some foils and some leopard. If this is something you're interested in, stick around, keep watching. As always, don't forget to click that like and subscribe for me. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below, and let's get started. Alright guys, so we are starting off by clipping her nails down. So you guys will notice she has a random pink nail. This is because she broke it really badly about a week ago. She had an incident and it was hurting her, so she came in really quickly. We just did a short little nail and she just wanted to do pink for fun. So we are going to cut that one off though, because she wants her nails really long and that one is not quite long enough. It did what it was needed to do and just made it so that her nail was stronger to get her through till her appointment. So when I cut off my client's nails with my toenail clippers, I do it from underneath just so that I can keep an eye on that hyponychium to make sure that I'm not cutting through it. Her nails just really start to arch down and she gets those long eagle talons, and her thumbs are extremely crooked. I think it is her her right thumb is really crooked. So I do straighten that one out for her as well. So like I said, we're just starting off here by clipping off the length, and then I'm going to go in with my 4X carbide bit. You guys know I love my 4X carbide bits, and I'm going to debulk and take everything down till it's a very thin layer. So it's a good thing that we decided to do a new set on her, because she had a ton of central lifting. Pretty much every nail had it. You can see here I am just feathering and tickling it away. In a second you will see it'll just pop right off. There it goes. And the reason I think this is happening is because her nails were arching so much, and I firmly believe that when nails are arched like that, they are not as strong as they should be. Now we have not done a new set on her since December, so which is pretty good. I know a lot of nail techs will kind of want to do a new set on long nailed clients, probably like every fourth fill, something like that. But we go as long as we can, and she was definitely due. So I'm glad that we made that decision. So next I am going to go in with my cuticle pusher and push back her proximal nail fold, and then I'm going to go in with my hand file and I'm going to smoothen everything out. I'm going to get rid of any little bits of lifting if there is any, and I'm also going to take care of that free edge. Now generally when I am doing a full set and I'm going to be applying my forms, I will curve the free edge and basically take it right off. But the last time that I did her nails and did a full set in December, when I did that, I had a really hard time for some reason getting the forms to sit nicely on her. So I decided this time to actually blunt the tips off, and I left them more square to fit the forms under, except for I think her thumb, the one that's super crooked. I did take that one right down just so that I could bend or turn the form to make it more straight. So next I'm just going in with my cuticle bit and I am cleaning up all of those cuticles. So I'm using the Erica's micro taper. I get it at the Pink Chair. It comes in a 2-pack. I believe they used to come in a 3-pack, but for some reason now they're only in a 2-pack. I will link everything below for you guys. I really, really like this bit. I originally used to use the really, really skinny ones and I loved those ones as well, but I just started using these more often and I've just fallen in love with them. They really are good also for people who have really thick cuticle. Now when you're doing the cuticle cleanup, you definitely want to use it on a lower speed. I use mine just below half speed on my Melody Susie Scarlet e-file, but on my other e-file, I forget what it's called offhand here, it was also 30,000 RPMs, but it definitely seemed to run faster, so I did it at a lower speed than that. But I do find with the Melody Susie, just below half speed for the cuticle bit works perfectly. Now you also want to make sure that you are holding your e-file quite flat against the nail. So you're not holding it straight upright, you're not digging into the natural nail, you're holding it almost flat to the natural nail and we're just lightly shaving off or filing off that cuticle. So generally I would go in next with my 50-50 custom mix of 99% alcohol and 100% acetone after I dust off her nails, but I've actually recently purchased the swipe solution from Young Nails, so I'm using that. So if it looks a little bit on the blue side, that's why, because it does have a blue coloration to it. And I am just using this brush. This is just a smile line brush. I've told you guys in other videos that I really love to use a brush like this and scrub the nail and scrub the dust out. I know that a lot of people will use those kind of harder bristled brushes and I just find those really uncomfortable for the clients when you're kind of just scrubbing over their skin and their nail. They're not comfortable at all. So if you can get something like this, the other thing that I've thought about is toothbrushes. I've actually considered purchasing toothbrushes and using a different toothbrush for each client and then just sanitizing it at the end of the day. I am just a little concerned that if there is any type of acetone in the swipe solution, if it would eat the bristles of the toothbrush. So I haven't tried it yet, but if anyone has tried that, let me know in the comment section below. And then next I am going in with my primer, my Protein Bond from Young Nails. Yes, the bottle brush looks different because I do transfer it into a different bottle. I really struggled with their little bottle, so I just purchased a bottle off of eBay. It is a dark bottle, so the sun cannot get through it, and I just transfer a new bottle of primer to that bottle every time I need to open a new one. So I'm just putting on 2 coats of the primer here, and we will get ready for our forms. So the forms that I'm using are from the Pink Chair. They are 2M Beauty ones, and I do pre-pinch them. So I do like to lock in that little front pinch, and then I cut the back, and then I will cut out the hyponychium area if I need to. Now I don't angle my forms or anything like that. I just make sure that they are nicely fitted under her free edge, and then I am actually going to be pinching them quite tight at the tip because I'm doing more of a coffin shape or a long tapered square. They end up looking a little more tapered square, but they are really at a fine point in the end. I will show you the C curve in the end. It's been a really long time since I've done such a fine pointed coffin, so I was really excited to do that with her. So yeah, I'm just going to go through and fit all of the forms on. I'm only going to do one hand at a time just so that she has one free hand. She's always playing music and stuff during her appointment and playing on her phone and showing me all kinds of fun stuff. We are laughing for like 2.5 hours when she's in the nail salon. So I'm just going to go on here and keep putting on the forms. So this is her thumb that is extremely crooked. I don't know if you can tell here from the photo or from the video, but it basically, yeah, it just is really, really crooked. So I cut off quite a bit of that free edge, and you're seeing here I'm having to go under because her one corner curls under so badly that I couldn't even get the form underneath. So I just have to cut that little corner off, and then I'm able to slide the form under, and I did cut out the hyponychium area. So basically her thumbnail goes to the right of her. So it would be my left. You can see it's kind of curving left. So I'm basically putting the form on in the opposite direction, and I'm going to try to build her nail more straight. It does sort of look a little wonky in the end because her nail just turns so much. And sometimes when you are trying to correct a overly crooked nail, it can look a little wonky, but in the end we were still happy with it. It still looked really good, so I would still do it that way again. So I'm going to go in with my clear. I'm using Speed Clear from Young Nails. Now, it did take me quite a while to sculpt her nails. She was here for 3 hours, but to be honest, we are always messing around. She's always stopping me to look at things on her phone. We're laughing. We get up and stretch. So in all, she probably would have only been here for 2.5 hours, like a normal appointment if we weren't messing around so much. And on top of it, it was really warm in my room, so the acrylic was setting really, really fast, so I couldn't do it in one big bead like I normally do, or 2 big beads. I had to add several beads, but we got it done and they looked amazing. Okay guys, so this is her wonky thumb. So I've just drawn a couple of lines here to show you the direction that her nail actually grows compared to the direction that I'm going to actually build the nail to make it more straight. So you can see how it's a little bit wonky, and eventually her nail will just naturally grow back into that direction. But for now, because we're starting fresh, I am going to give her a straight nail. Alright, so now that I have all 10 nails sculpted, I am removing all of the forms, and I'm going to go in with my 100 grit file from On Vogue, and I'm going to shape them and just make sure that everything is perfect, sharpen up those edges for her, and just double check that if there's anything, if I need to add any acrylic anywhere on any of the apexes or the free edge or anything like that, or the tips I should say, I will do that as well. But as far as I remember, I just went in and had to hand file everything and get them shaped up so that we can start applying our marbling. So next I'm going in with a little buffer. I actually got these ones from a local store here. They are the little silkline ones. I love that they're just already cut up and tiny and I don't have to cut them. I originally wasn't going to buff them because normally I don't buff the nails when I am applying gel polish, but then because we did clear tips and everything, I wasn't sure how much of the clear was going to show, and if there was a lot of it, I wanted it to be as smooth as possible and crystal clear, and buffing does definitely help with that. So I just went through and buffed all of them before I started applying my marbling. Okay, you guys, I am absolutely obsessed with how the C curves turned out. It has been a long time since I have done a deep C curve on a long nail, so I was just checking them out and loving them in all of their glory here. And then I'm going to go in, and I already removed the dust. I made sure to get all the dust off, and now I'm just going in with some alcohol. So I'm not using the swipe solution. I am just going in with straight alcohol, and I am just continuing to remove the dust and getting underneath also and removing the dust, and we're finally going to get into doing the marbling. So we wanted to pick 2 colors per nail with the addition of the white. So I've got Madame Glam's Perfect White, and then on one of the nails we're doing the Neon Lime Green and combining that with the yellow called Neon Sun. And then on the next nail we are going to be applying the white as well with Pajama Party. And the other color is called Kiss on the Cheek. And then I've also got this purpley one, or it's more of a magenta or fuchsia, called the Rule Maker. And this bright pink called OMG Pink. It is super, super bright, like a very neon. And I've also got Young Nail Stain Resistant. And I'm using this flat brush. This is the one that I always use for marbling. So we basically started off with those colors, and then we also added some colors that I will show you later on as we add them. So I'm just going in and I am drawing a line with the green, and then I'm going to draw a line with the yellow next to it. And then I'm going to draw a line on top, sort of in the middle, with the white. And then you will see I will take my dotting tool and I will zigzag through it. Now I've got another video that I did where I showed you guys how to do marbling 6 different ways, and this is one of the methods. I showed her all of them and asked her which one she wanted, and this was the one that we liked the most. This is my favorite way of marbling. So as you can see, I just kind of zigzagged them together, and then I'm going to be applying a very thin layer of the Young Nail Stain Resistant. Now you could use a blooming gel as well, but I do find that the Young Nail Stain Resistant works perfectly for this. You just have to make sure that you apply a very thin layer. When I say thin, I mean it's almost dry. And then I'm going to go in with that flat brush and I'm going to scoop up some of the gel polish, and I'm going to flatten the brush and drag the gel polish through that top coat. And then you want to just let it sit for a couple of seconds and it'll start to sort of bleed out and blend, and that's when you want to get it in the light. You can leave it sitting out of the light as long as you want and just watch it bleed until you are satisfied with that bleeding, and then get it into the light to cure. So we decided to add 4 more colors so every nail was different. We started off with Office Gossip as the purple, but we traded it out for Hear Me Roar later. And then we also have Lagoon, so those two will go together. And then we have this teal one called Boat Trip. And then we also added this one here called Lime Green. I think it's called Neon Lime Green. Let's see when I flip it over. Yes, Neon Lime Green, and those two will go together. So then she decided she wanted to add a little bit of leopard print and some gold flakes as well. So I just went in with my acrylic paint and I hand painted some leopard print. I have tons of videos showing you guys how I do my leopard print. I have a specific little brush that I use because I do a dotting motion. So I kind of go up and down. You can also use a dotting tool, but I like to use my brush because I can really load it with paint and I can get several of the little patterns in there. But my brush ends up getting bent at the end. So that's why I use this specific brush, because just know that if you do this method, you will bend the tip of your brush and it will get damaged. You won't be able to use it for anything else. And like I said, she also wanted some gold flakes, so I just have these ones from Born Pretty, and I simply just took my flake brush that I use for all of my flakes. It's an art brush that I kind of turned into what I thought was going to be an ombre brush, but it didn't work, so I just use it for applying flakes. And I literally just tacked them into that tacky layer, and I used my finger and just kind of dabbed them in. Now, generally, I would recommend you to put on a glove, but I was not even paying attention. I was just ready to get these done. So she had been here already for like 3 hours. So I was ready to get these done and get the top coat on. So I didn't put my glove on. I just kind of tapped it in and it'll just stick down. Now, when you are going to apply your top coat, you do want to make sure that these flakes are sitting really, really flat. Otherwise, you will end up having these little pokey outies, as I call them, which are sharp edges, and you don't want that. And once I had all of the flakes laid down nicely, I went in with my Young Nail Stain Resistant and I did 2 coats simply because I did use acrylic paint on that leopard print. If I would have used gel polish or gel paint, you would only have to do 1 coat, but because I used the acrylic paint, I did 2 coats. Alright guys, so that is it for this design. I hope that you enjoyed it. It's super fun for summer. I'm really glad that we did marbling, and I'm really glad that we reshaped her nails, resculpted her nails, excuse me, because they were definitely due, and I am absolutely obsessed with the shape and the C curves. They turned out so nicely, and that little addition of the leopard and gold made it just level up even more. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share it with someone else, and as always guys, have an amazing day.